It is the GAA Social on BBC Sounds, and here we go again, Oisín. Good to see you, fella.
Back again, how are you?
Life's good, and great to see an inter-county Gaelic footballer sitting in front of us mid-season, and well, we just don't know what's going to happen this year, do we?
No.
All-Ireland winning captain, Aidan Forker. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
And only the few come back again. I'm not sure that's a good or a bad thing.
I was going to say, yeah.
But I suppose, look, why I felt this was absolutely what we wanted to do. Congratulations on winning the All-Ireland 2024. I know it feels like a long time ago, but the story has fundamentally changed since we last had you on. So for people that are unaware, I had you on in 2022. And, you know, it felt at that time from the outside looking in, would Armagh win an All-Ireland? Probably not. From the outside looking in. And we did that just a couple of weeks before Championship, if I remember correctly. It wasn't that far away from Championship. We did that interview. It was great. It was great insight. And then a couple of years later, you win the All-Ireland. You're climbing the Hoganstand steps. There's a beautiful photograph of your two kids were there, and I think Emer was there as well. But there's a lovely one where he's just has the hands wrapped round he's standing behind you. You're fully extended, lifting Sam Maguire. Be amazed if that's not framed in the house. Feel like I'm totally pressurised in case it's not framed in the house. But life has changed significantly, and there's a bit more, not respect, that's definitely not respect, but a bit more appreciation of what you have done. So look, congratulations, I mean that. And a bit of time has passed, so it's nice to reflect upon it a little bit, but we're in 2026 mode, so it's kind of very much ahead. So look, I suppose just give me a sense. You're on the podcast. Why did you say yes? Because I suppose, particularly with players, particularly with long form storytelling like this, in a way, there's always a perception of risk. Oh, what if you say something wrong, or what, you know? Which is, I understand that. So just give me a sense why you felt, yeah, no, I'm happy to do that.
I suppose it's a privilege to be asked. So I'm in the sense that I don't like letting people down. Not that you would have minded if I said no, but I do enjoy long form. I listen to it a lot myself, your own podcast and others. I just think it gives people a window into. I don't feel like I'm totally representing myself here. I'm representing maybe any player and what it's like to, what your life is like as an intercounty footballer and everything else that goes with it. So, and I would be a big advocate of players and supporting them. So, it was an easy yes. I suppose a little easier because I'm not really playing at the moment, being out long term, I suppose. But I'm determined to fix that as well. But you know, I had a wee bit of space, and just happy to have the chat. I've nothing really to hide, really.
Brilliant, and it's great to have you. So thank you, genuinely thank you. I suppose you've touched upon it there. Where are we with the injury? So you win the All-Ireland, life is good. Didn't play an awful lot last year in the sense of injury seemed to hold you back, and this year you haven't been out yet. So what's the problem?
No, generally my body's feeling good, I have to say, but probably done more training in the last 4 or 5 months than I've ever done. Doing double sessions and stuff that I've probably never really done in my life, because I've always just turned up to training and just done my work and then recovered. But I've had to do a lot more. I got surgery about 4 or 5 months ago, my ankle. That's been good. And then I've an ongoing sort of back issue that I'm trying to manage and nurse. And I think I'm on the right side of that. I've been amazingly looked after with the medical team, Kieran's wife Maura and Julie, and anything that I've needed I've got. So I'm very, very fortunate, and I'm determined to get the body right, because hips, ankles, knees, shoulders, neck, everything that boys complain with, I'm pretty happy with. It's just if I can get this back right. At this stage I'm becoming a Pilates expert, doing not much Pilates, but no, I'm determined to get back. I want to join the group again. Boys are flying, and I want to be part of that again. The hunger's still there to keep going, and going on to it. And
when do you feel you'll be available for selection?
It's a funny one. I was determined this year because last year I wasn't feeling myself and I was probably lying to myself. So whilst I like putting numbers on things and measuring things, I didn't with this injury because I'm just going by how my body feels. So I'm not going to say it's going to be 3 weeks or 6 weeks or 12 weeks. I'm sort of just going by how I feel, and as I said, Maura and Julie and all the people who are supporting me are happy with that. And whilst Kieran always says, well, how close are you, where are you now, how did running go, he's not putting a whole pile of pressure on me to be back. But.
And is it easier when you're, or is it worse when you're further down the lane, you're a wee bit older? You're probably thinking, I don't have a huge amount of time left at this level. Does that make you play the long game, or is it, or have you learned your lesson maybe from last year?
I wasn't useful last year because I wasn't myself physically.
Patching yourself up.
Yeah. All the things that you would do and anti-inflammatory things or whatever you need to take to feel right for training or games and be available. And I wasn't doing anyone a service, and especially not the group or myself. But I'm adding to it now the best way I can, albeit off the pitch. But I do feel like I'm. Football started and the itch is there, and I'm putting a wee bit of pressure on myself now to get right. So, but you have to listen to your body at the same time, and I'd have prided myself on making all the right decisions from I was 19, 20. Never took a drink till I was maybe 25, 26. So I'm hoping all those good decisions around nutrition, sleep, training, whatever, will pay dividends in terms of longevity for myself. So please God, I'm on the right track and over the worst of that.
What's your role then, match days or that? Have you picked up a role match days or?
I would say a lot of my work done in between games, probably not even on match days. Everybody has a very specific role. We have a great management team. Everything's pretty taken care of. So anything I can add is probably a bonus at this stage.
What about captaincy? What way is that, Aidan, now, this year?
I presume I'm still the captain, but haven't been told otherwise. Listen, that idea of captaincy is kind of it's overplayed. McKay has been leading the team out, and he's took a knock now, and we have loads of, and Murnin led the team out at the weekend, and he was outstanding. So the title captain in our group is overplayed. We have a great leadership team and great leadership group.
Murnin took all right though, didn't he?
He did.
He seems to wear it well. I think he's his eyes on it.
Take it all he wants. Yeah, no problem. Same way he would soon throw it back at you. You'd have no.
He's had a great start to the league, and particularly that Monaghan game. We've always known that he's just a joy to watch. I was commentating the Armagh game, and
there's nothing he can't do. I think that's
the first bit where we really saw him was making a diving one-handed block on his 21-metre line, and the next thing he scored a point, and then the next thing he can do literally everything.
He's phenomenal, and he is like football IQ, and when he speaks, people listen because he knows the game and he lives the game, and he doesn't contribute all the time.
Quite quiet by nature, it would appear.
Unassuming.
He did a post-match interview in the. I've never seen him interviewed before.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually believe it. So he was man of the match, and we thought I was just like, it's going to be a handling here now, getting him over. But in fairness to him, he came over and spoke brilliantly, which was just a lovely wee glimpse into the fella.
Andrew's top. He's absolutely top. Even marking him, his movement. He's one of the best I've ever played with.
Really?
Most definitely, yeah.
Wow.
Hands, unbelievable hands.
Yeah. So you're still captain as far as you know. Congratulations. I know that it's a phrase that's overplayed, but it's still a thing, Aidan. And you cannot tell me on the week of the All Ireland that added wee bit, knowing that don't want to think about it, but that's my job. But the final whistle goes and we're on the right side of it, and then I suppose maybe the past tense, the honour of that. It's only happened once before. It's only been one man left Sam Maguire in an orange shirt, and that's the manager, and you're the second. And you can talk about captaincy, and I appreciate in the playing group now, and what is clear Armagh do of that leadership team. You can see that even from the outside looking in, but it's still a thing.
Yeah, like I was lucky to get the captaincy in the year that was in it. We have had some great leaders, great captains. I would always seen myself as a leader in the group, anyway, and try and drive it. Anytime I'm there, I would never be a bystander in that regard. But
it's nice to hear somebody say that. Like, it's not too often you hear someone say it. Am I overcooking that? Somebody says, "Look, to be honest with you, I always saw myself as a leader within the group anyway." Like, it's actually nice to hear somebody say that.
Well, I like leadership, and I spend a lot of time thinking about it and reading maybe about it, and like to put things into practice and try things out. And there's an art to it, of course, but there's also a science, and I think it can be learned. So the best way to do that is, I would say, elite sport, and it transfers into every sector, and everywhere needs leadership. So it was a good testing ground, and like anything that I've ever read or learned or listened to, I think the geezer is a phenomenal leader, and I've had probably a good mentorship and friendship probably there as well.
Is it a friendship?
Yeah, I think it's a friendship, yeah. It absolutely is. The things Kieran does for his players, it's more than manager, player. It's all relationships into friendships. Like,
can you give me an illustration of that, Aidan? And I don't want you to give me anything that's beyond personal. I am aware and loosely aware, and have been for a long time, of things that he does that nobody would see. Now, I'm not trying to say that I would know lots of things that he does that people wouldn't see, but can you give me a sense of the extra bits that people don't see that is beyond the call of duty, in a sense? Because I think that's really useful, not just for people to see from a management perspective or a Kieran McGeeney perspective, but just he seems full in a way that it would be very difficult to describe beyond sport.
He's always thinking about the player as a person, I would say. Now he's obsessed with team performance as well. So it's a funny, like, I don't know, recent example, like God rest her, Punky Toner is our kit man, and his mother passed away yesterday. So I send our condolences out to Punky's family. But Kieran was ringing me last night, making sure that we're all going tonight to the wake together, and he was saying, make sure that happens. Punky is as part of our group as anyone, everyone's equal. But I knew that we had to get that sorted anyway, so I was like, yeah, we've got that sorted. But Kieran was making sure that happened for Punky, and it's a small thing, but it's a reflection of us as a group and what's important, and that Punky's going to feel supported with us being there this evening, and the boys dropping in and seeing him and whatever. So, like, that's a small thing. But Kieran made that call to me last night because he's thinking, and that's the way he thinks. Yeah. And that's a very small example of probably of how he operates and how he thinks. So.
Could we see you in the league? You don't want to put a date on it. I'm not pushing you towards anything, but I mean,
hopefully, yeah. No, I'm hoping to be available sooner rather than later.
Okay,
but,
fair enough.
I've a good bank of work done. So it's just about transitioning back into training and sort of managing the injury and making sure I've no sort of relapse as such. So, no, I'm being well looked after. But yeah, I'm chomping at the bit to get back in, to be honest with you.
I'm trying to think if there's a position we could see you in that we haven't seen you in already. I've
played everywhere apart from goals at this stage, probably.
The only place I'm thinking is Ethan and Blaine.
Well, Armagh do need a goalkeeper, in fairness. I mean, if there's one country,
we're struggling in that department, aren't we?
Because people maybe won't realise that, Aidan, but I'm very familiar watching Maghery play, and this full forward, that played for Maghery, not the cornerback, stroke halfback, stroke, you know, the different areas that you played. And I know you played up front for Armagh, you know, when you were younger as well. But you are a, you know, what's your best position?
I don't know. You'd have to ask.
What is it? What would you
See
what
the
would
game now. Like the game now is not position oriented. Like you're gonna bring your skills, talents, quality, style, whatever, to the position you're in. Whether you have 12 in your back or 2 in your back or 15 in your back, do you know? You're just gonna bring your 9 out of 10 to that role, whether it be your passing or your physicality or whatever.
Tom O'Sullivan for Dingle, forget about Kerry. Just, you know, outside of the boot. Beezers. But like yourself, fella, you know,
Yeah, Tom's quality footballer.
but it has morphed. I mean Enda McNulty didn't hit points outside of his boot from cornerback, albeit what a brilliant cornerback he was. Now, I'm not in any way I'm just talking about how I want to be clear on that, right? I'm very clear on that. Brilliant cornerback, like, you know, him and Canavan going at it was a thing of beauty to watch. But it's as you say, it has changed. You kind of need a cornerback to have the ability to do that now.
Yeah, well, even the new rules, like, and you need to have footballers all over the pitch. I think the new rules have allowed for more footballers, I think, and that's why you see, you need boys who are athletic and physically talented, you know, because there's a lot more 1v1 battles. But I think the footballers are also showing their quality as well, in a sense. So yeah, that's the game now. Like, you have to have a fair bit in your locker. Like, you can't. But it's finding that balance, and that's team performance.
How much is that group changing there at the minute? That Armagh group. It feels as if we're losing. We've lost a lot. Maybe you don't find a change because a lot of those boys who were coming in maybe
overplayed. Like there might be a wee element of the so-called transition, but like a couple of big personalities leaving this year, and Soupy, and even boys like Niall Rowland and Niall Grimley's not there, and boys who are really driving the thing and very experienced. It's hard to replace that, but you replace it with a different sort of energy, and your Aaron O'Neill's, and even my young club, Park O'Keefe's there, and you know, really just hungry to and it's a different energy, but in a good way, and it gives the boys who were there a wee bit longer, that wee bit more, I don't know what you call it, lease of life or whatever. But the dynamic is different because the personnel is different. It's yet to be seen whether it's a transition period or not. We know we're going to be up against it, but we also know that I would say we're thereabouts in terms of the level, like, and you know, like, momentum's a big thing, and injuries are a big thing, and you need a wee bit of luck too. But the old cliche of taking it a game at a time is very much how we do it, in terms of taking the learnings and trying to get better and be the best we can be for the summer. Like,
I do think, though, a lot of teams try and manufacture freshness or change, whereas it's just organically happened in Armagh. And for somebody who's obviously quite close to it and watching on, a lot of those lads, even who are coming in, have been there in and around the squad for some time now. So there's nobody really. There's a couple of fresh faces, but it doesn't feel like a transition to me.
No, like, you have Dara McMullen's been there on like quality. Like, I know he's took a knock, but like, Dara has served his time, if you like, got himself physically trained well, and his quality was always there, waited on his opportunity and never looked back. Had an unbelievable year for his club, and another pre-season under his belt. Fergal O'Brien's been there for a long time as well, maybe season 3 or 4 for him. Trained hard and is really focused on wanting to play for Armagh. Exceptional footballer, so powerful and a great athlete, and you know, the new rules probably suit Fergal, so I think he's only going to go from strength to strength. And there's loads of boys pushing, loads of boys close, and just waiting on their opportunity, like Callum O'Neill, I'd grown quite close to Callum over the last 18 months, 2 years. Attitude second to none, level of preparation. Got his opportunity last year, and I was saying to him the last 2 years, like, you're ready, just wait in your opportunity, because I know you'll light it up, like. And he was super for us last year in the championship, and just went from strength to strength, went to another level this year, like. And
in a lot of counties, though, those guys don't hang around.
Yeah, that's like, I take my hat off to Armagh, because to me that is the biggest thing. Not gonna, and you do have to serve your time now. It feels nearly a sense you do have to earn your stripes. I don't know if that's the right thing, but for Armagh, you've got to earn that spot, and like you do everywhere. But it just feels so much more with Armagh. It nearly feels from the outside looking in that I'm going to test you at the start around your dedication and whether you're actually properly committed before you get the opportunity to show what you've done.
I think the way the game is now, you have to, there's a certain level or threshold of physicality you have to be at, and it takes, from your 18 or whatever, takes you that 2-3 years of solid training age, whatever you want to call it, to get to there.
And do you feel that's the biggest thing, Aidan, is still that physically, that piece where...
I think there's a strength and conditioning piece where you have to get to that training. Unless you're an exceptional talent,
A couple of flyers, but apart
there's always those outliers who just...
Gosh, Connaughty wouldn't he probably feels like that exception. He'd be reasonably late, but it's just...
Yeah, you have Oisín and probably Rain come in and got in straight away, but after that, we all had to, we all had to just do the bit more dog work and earn your stripes or whatever you want to call it, but and it makes it mean more to you, like, even Paddy Burns still tells the story of, like, he wasn't even in the panel at this stage, like, but he kept coming to training because he just said, I'm going to play for Armagh. Like, wasn't on the list, wasn't on the WhatsApp, wasn't on anything, and Paddy actually says, like, that was my story, like, I just wanted it and trained and didn't take no for an answer. And yeah, Paddy's, look where he got there, like, Paddy's one of the best defenders there is, like. So
it's great.
Everyone has their own story, like
it is great to hear that. Just keeping at it.
It's a lot easier to say, nah, not for me.
Well, I would imagine a lot of people have the ear of close people in their own network who are good people, who are probably saying to them, look, you're better than him. Like, you're not getting the chance. Come back to the club, put your full concentration in that there. Go again next year. Manager might change, something like that.
And it's probably a reflection of our group if you zoom out and look at it from higher up. Like, ours is a story of just keep going back to the well and working and training and take the knocks and don't let it deter you and just keep going, like, Was
there ever a doubt? Was there ever a moment where it's like, I'm cursed here, where it's not happening?
I wouldn't say cursed, but yeah, a very low point for me. I remember actually thinking, I don't know how I can do this anymore. I think it was the third Ulster final row. I remember just thinking, like,
Donegal and penalties.
Yeah, like, I was low on the bus after that. I just remember thinking, I don't know how I can do this anymore, but I suppose looking back, it's always darkest before the dawn. We went and won it, So,
but I do have to agree with you. That was the lowest I'd ever felt leaving a game as a supporter, and it wasn't on my own.
Yeah,
and it wasn't that people had. I don't think people had given up, or they had suddenly not appreciated what these boys were doing. But there was just an acceptance that just wasn't, for whatever reason, it just wasn't going to happen.
The manner of the defeats on penalties, I mean, it's beyond cruel, but and the repetitive nature, because lost against Derry on penalties and Donegal. I feel like I'm depressing you, lads. I don't mean to be, but here, it all worked out in the end.
Yeah,
it all worked out in the end.
You didn't mention the Galway quarter final either, which is good.
yeah. That was that to me will always be Rian's free kick. It's as pressurised a thing as I've ever seen in my life.
But the whole question is like, you know, would we have went and done and won the All Ireland if we'd have scratched the edge of an Ulster and got over the line in Ulster? Like, you'd like to think you would, but you know, I remember the aftermath of that and the intensity of the coaches after that, like Starr and McKeever and Conliffe. Like, I just remember the intensity and say sitting in a video room and just being like, looking at where it was lost, should have done this, could have done this, these are the wee fine margins, whatever. And them just saying, we're not going to let this happen to us again. Like, if we're ever in this position, this won't happen to us again. So, you know, we took the learnings from it, or whatever you want to say, but there was a renewed intensity that there's something here, and if we get there again, it's going to go for us this time, because we're not going to let it slide. You know, we're going to leave no stone unturned that we get on the right side of it the next time.
That's really interesting that at that lowest point that you've gone straight to like the coaches there. Just we looked at it and that is not going to happen again. I mean, coaches could get that piece wrong. There's so much focus on a player-led group, and I've no doubt to a degree yous are. Even the Wake story you just explained there, the Kieran Donaghy, it's sorted. We kind of knew you were going to be doing that anyway. But I think there's a great example of just still coaching in a really difficult moment where it feels like it could go one of two ways in a sense. That it sounds like you left that room again believing or reinforcing the belief at a sensitive moment that you can do it. Am I overcooking that now, or am I?
No, the coaches are massive, like, you know. They steer the ship, they know exactly what they're looking, they set the vision, and we just try to drive it from within.
So then the other side of that, I suppose, is the season finishes and Kieran Donaghy goes off to Kerry, who are fairly decent at football. Like, it feels right in a way. He's from Kerry, of course he is. When that news comes, you must be quite torn on a personal level, and like, how do you feel around that?
If I had a wish, I would wish that I didn't go into Kerry, but
really,
Kieran's a Kerry man, and I'm sure he had many conversations with Geezer and making sure that all was left right there. His commitment, all I can speak to, his commitment with Armagh was absolutely insane. Like, the level of commitment that he gave us, and I know he enjoyed the journey with us too. He's a friend for life, and even his family are adopted Armagh people, really.
Yeah.
In a sense, but listen, Kieran was always going to go back to Kerry, and he felt the timing was right there. And you know, when something you love comes calling, you know, you can't. Life doesn't always, you know, time perfectly. So
it looks strange seeing him at Kerry.
Think so?
I thought it did.
I thought it looked.
I didn't think he looked as big either. He's shrunk since you come down there as well.
He's spending less time.
I actually did look initially when I just seen it. I just went, you know he's there and you know he's gone there, but it's only when you actually see it that you think.
It's a compliment to him that he's so identifiable with the Armagh journey, and I think that's just a lovely way in which he expressed it there. Look, if I'm being honest, I prefer if he wasn't there, but friend for life, that's a big thing. His family are, you know, feel like almost adopted Armagh people because they're up all the time. They might say different, but there's a lovely compliment in that. And I think when somebody can go to a rival who knocked you out of the All Ireland last year, and you know you're going to be playing them in the last round of the league, you're going to be good chance you could be playing them again in the championship. I think it's just lovely to hear somebody say, look, still positive vibes.
Well, Kerry will be the team, like, you know, they will be the team this year, and Starr being in there will only add to them, like. Yeah, but I think he enjoyed his 5-6 years with us for sure, and even my wife Emer and Hillary will be really good friends.
Right.
Keep in touch a lot and
great.
Chat, and so yeah, it's as much about the journey as what we achieve, but and he did plenty of journeys. He did plenty of nights. I'd say he doesn't miss that.
Madness. I hate to bring it up. Can we talk about the Michael Murphy incident?
I can laugh about it now.
Yeah.
I thought you were supposed to build into those things. You just
I think just get it out of the way. Upon reflection, you happy enough talking about it?
Yeah, listen, it is what it is. There's no explaining it, like, really, is it? It was a silly act, and I don't know. It was a rush of blood, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But as soon as I done it, I was thinking, oh God. But listen, you're in the moment, you lose it, and it was a silly thing to do, and it looked silly, and there's a bit of aftermath there. Come off the pitch, and Emer texts me, and it's like, just delete your social media there, will you? So I actually was off social media for the next 6 weeks, and Emer keeps reminding me, like, Emer really struggled with that for the next 6-8 weeks, and apparently I took a lot of abuse online. I don't really know, but yeah, it is what it is, and no one got hurt. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. No, not overcooking it, but that was his first game. Was that his first? He came on as a sub. He was daunted a couple of times before he made his way. But I watched that, and people were losing their minds over it. To be fair, there's no point in saying anything different. But I just remember thinking,
See, I didn't see any of that. I just walked off the pitch and never seen any of the
Did you not
covers
see
of
any
it.
of it? Did
Not a thing.
nobody send it to you or anything like that?
Nope.
"You sure?"
Yep. I was off all social media after that.
But you know the way you said Emer kind of struggled with it. But you had you 100% would, because she's, even without seeing it, you're getting the sense of it.
Listen, it was on me. Like, I'll take responsibility. It was silly.
Yeah, no, but was it like, was some of the stuff off the wall? Like, which you don't know. I'll tell you, it was off the wall. I'm not on social media either, but like, I would have known.
I probably did
even
it.
actually mainstream went after you quite a
You'd
bit
be in the
too.
picture here that I don't know that.
No, not at all. No, look, to me it was just, I actually just thought at the time, that's the bit where a lot of things are really wrong at the minute. The people, something flags up, and everybody's on it, and it becomes so much more bigger than it actually is. And like, we work on the media, and I get that, but it's like, hang on, here's wrong, got punished, sure, it's grand, nobody died.
No.
It's like, it's not a massive thing, but I just sorry to bring it up. I just feel that it was good, and it was actually nice to see you laughing about it in a way. Like, it is.
It's well gone down at this stage.
Yeah.
But
So it's been a big year of change for you. Congratulations, Bambino number 3, who is now what?
Nearly 4 months.
Brilliant name.
Tag, baby.
Tag, lovely name. Congratulations. So Tag will be growing up. He missed the photograph because he wasn't around, so you're going to have to go and do it again just for family purposes. So congratulations that way. And you are a teacher. You were vice principal. And you've left to go into another phase of work. Now, there's a lot going on in your life here. Forget about the football just for a second. There's a lot going on here, Aidan.
Yeah, life's busy. Always was, though.
Why did you change career, if you don't mind me asking?
It's a funny one. Like, I didn't leave teaching because I didn't like it. I love teaching. And I loved my job in Tullysharn. I was vice principal. Brilliant school, brilliant children. I suppose when I got a phone call from, so I work now for CPS Property. It's a multi-branch business across the north, and the MD, the owner of the company, is a guy called Art O'Hagan, and it's a family-run business. Fantastic business, brilliant. Art's a brilliant fella, a brilliant man. I suppose him and I got chatting, and he asked me, did I fancy something different? And he can be quite persuasive, I suppose, but it sort of just planted a wee seed with me, I suppose. I didn't take it lightly. I mulled over it for many, many months. And it was one of those ones where, I suppose, if I'm in the classroom, a group of children, and I'm preaching to them about, being the best they can be, and, saying yes to opportunities, and, don't put a ceiling on yourself, and all those things that I would be saying to them, rolling their eyes probably at some point, but trying to inspire them to, push on and be the best they can be and go and achieve their potential. I would be remiss of me just to stay comfortable and sit in a job for the rest of my life and teaching, and that would have been fine. If someone says to me now, you're going back teaching, and I would be 100% with that.
Yeah.
But it was probably an opportunity that I couldn't really pass up, to join a brilliant business in CPS and be around people who are high performers that I would class the Art and the boys and the O'Hagan family as, and put my sort of skills in a business context, and see can I help add to that, because I felt like anywhere I've went I've made it better and added to it and made a good impact, and that's what I want to do in my new role.
Right.
So it's been good. I'm enjoying it. I'm 5-6 months in, and listen, it's just about, it's the same thing. Like, you're just trying to get the best out of people in front of you, and whether it be in business, in the classroom, or in education in general, or at home in your house, it's just about good, strong relationships and building that and bringing your own best to the situation in front of you, and it's problem solving, I suppose, in a sense. And listen, I'm at the very infant stages of this. I'm learning a lot, and that's, I think, where I'm at my best in terms of learning and growing and a new challenge, and I'm embracing it. I'm enjoying it.
So property related then?
Yeah, it's property related, although I'm sort of on the management side, so I'm always I'm dealing with people more than I'm dealing with property. The property's probably the easy bit. But
people are hard, aren't they?
People are more challenging, but that's the role, that's the job, and I feel like I'm decent at that, and new challenge for sure.
Yeah, and it can reinvigorate you as well. I mean, it's a time in your life, like, what 33 now?
33, yeah.
So, I mean, it's a spark. It's a bit different, and it's good to sort of change yourself in that way. And look, good luck with it. And you've always got the teaching to fall back on. That's what everybody.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, were you?
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe how many times I've said that. I've heard that from people.
I thought I was coming up with something brand new.
Get your degree behind you. You'll be all right to fall behind. I don't know why I'm putting on that accent, like, but just that, everybody just seems to say that. Get your degree, then you can fall back on it. Get your A levels, get your GCSEs. Can I ask you about faith? You come across as someone that has a great sense of faith, and well, probably most people in their 30s, if they did have a good sense of faith, and many do, obviously, probably would be sheepish about it.
Yeah, and segueing from teaching into faith conversation is probably where I miss the most in terms of teaching. I miss the religion and teaching the children, and that ethos part of it is probably what I miss most, with regard to that and passing on the faith, I suppose, in a Catholic school.
Would there be any doubt in your mind, Aidan, that God exists? As in, Jesus, Christianity, afterlife? I feel we've gone very deep in a way, but would there be any doubt in your mind?
No, well, that's what the word faith is. It's a belief in things that you can't necessarily see, and some of the best experiences in life aren't what you see, is what you feel, and my faith gives me that feeling, that there is something bigger than us, and I believe that's God. I believe Jesus was a man 2,000 years ago. I believe he died for us, and I believe that he rose from the dead. And that might sound quite like I'm proselytizing. I'm not. But I truly believe that, and my faith is something that's very important to me, and I get a lot from. And I don't see really any evidence to the contrary why I shouldn't believe that. And the graces and blessings that I've got in my life to date, I don't think I've necessarily earned them myself. I think they've been gifts. Right. And that's how I see it. And it's a fundamental part of who I am, is probably my faith, and that's grown I wasn't always like that, but that's grown, and there's certain things that's probably happened in my life that are probably undeniable in terms of divine intervention or whatever you want to call it, and it's not a big it's not a big conversion story or anything like that. It's just over time.
Just a couple of wee things have happened that steered you in that way.
Well, like, I'm just so lucky. I feel like I'm blessed, and I've been blessed with great graces, and my prayer life's important to me as well, and yeah, I get a lot from it, and everyone's on their own faith journey, I think. I think if you go in and be in a class for a year, which a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do, because not everybody are teachers, but you can see an inherent spirituality in every person, and you can see that in children because it's so pure and raw and innocent, and I think that's our souls yearning for something, and I think that's God.
Okay. It is so lovely to hear somebody say that. You know, there'll be people listening going, "Oh, did you hear your man?" You know, you may well even hear this on the pitch this year. But I just think of something beautiful about somebody that can just say, "Look here, here's what I have faith in.
Here's what it is to me.
Here's what I think."
Yeah,
I'm happy saying it. Look, you know, you want to mock it, go for it. You don't believe it, that's okay too. But I think there is something lovely about a person being able to say, look, here's what I think. It might sound a bit old-fashioned, it might sound a bit uncool to some people. That's okay. But here's what I think. And I think it's just lovely to hear our sports people just be able to say it. Equally, I think it would be the same. Some people would disagree if somebody said the opposite of what you said. Look, you know, I would love the sense of faith, but I just don't believe in God, or don't believe that there's an afterlife or whatever. And look, I don't mean any offense, but that's just genuinely believe. I just think, again, I think fair play to people being able to say those things.
But it takes work. Like, it's like playing a match the weekend. Like, you have to work on it. You have to train. You know, faith is not just, I have no, people say to me about, I have no real feeling for that, like, I don't get it, or, like, I was like, you need to work on it, you know, whether it be your prayer life or doing good, or, you know, living your life as close to Christian values as you can. I am no saint, put it like that, but you can try, and I think that's only a good thing. But yeah, that's my journey, like, that's how I feel. Like, I don't know if I'm right, or even what I said there is accurate in terms of theology.
Sorry, that was
just the water.
That was my phone. And the 2-litre bottle of water tipping over. But we'll just right at the moment when Aidan was talking there. Sorry to
you're gone.
Spoil the moment on you there, fella. But look, thanks for that there. And that's fairly intimate stuff in terms of sharing it. So look, I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. What is the best bit about winning the All-Ireland for you? Now, you're allowed to be selfish the odd time in life. It's okay. No?
Yeah, no, well, I like, you jump to many things. Like, I have so many lovely wee poignant moments that just are there. Like I spoke recently with you, actually, on going to visit Stringer. Do you know? That's a standout moment. Like,
Stringer being Kieran Finnegan, who was from Crossmaglen, who died obviously of brain cancer. Yeah.
And that was 2 or 3 days after we took the cup and spent a couple of hours with the family, and I know how much they appreciated. But there's so many of those, but the best bit is sharing it with the boys. Like, you know, the boys you've toiled with, the boys you've trained with, the boys you've went to Callan Bridge all those dark nights, and late night conversations and Zoom calls during lockdown and whatever it was for 4, 5, 10 years, like, and getting to share that with Rory and all the boys who have been there from the start, Murnin, and I'm not going to start naming names, but just looking each other's eyes and knowing, like, yeah, we did it, and we did what we said we wanted to do, and we're getting to live it here, and just that feeling of the aftermath of it. But there's loads of wee moments. Obviously, the time that Leo and Ross and Emer was able to join me at the top of the steps, that was personally, you know, it doesn't get any better than that. Like, that's just, everything all at once, like, you know, all the fundamental parts of your life all encompassed in one moment, like. So
Did you feel that in the moment, or was it nearly seeing the image maybe afterwards?
yeah, I wasn't really live to our Leo behind me and hugging and all that, because then you go into performance mode, you're like, I need to get this speech done right, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, it was lovely. I just walking on the pitch and all that, it was great. But, you know, it's funny, I'm going to be reliving that for the rest of my life in a sense, but once you're still in it, you know, you don't really think about it too much, because you're always thinking of, I have to train tonight, you know, what I have to do in the morning when I get up, how do I get the boys ready for the weekend. You know, your performance head is on because you're still in it. So I've loads of time when I'm retired and later on when I'm in my 40s and 50s to think about how great it was. But yeah, I
think the way it was orchestrated afterwards, though, it give you guys a chance to soak it up.
That day in the athletic grounds.
But I got that feeling, even just the whole thing for the whole week. Like you weren't. It didn't seem as if anybody was overawed with what they had to do or where they had to be. It seemed to be that it was quite relaxed. I know there was
no pressure on anyone to be anywhere. It was, but we wanted to be together. You know, the group wanted to stay together. And like going back to my club on the second night, you know, and all the boys, you know, really made it like they didn't have to go, but they wanted to be there. And me being able to bring Sam over the bridge in Maghery and, you know, whatever, homecoming and all that, like that was just overwhelming nearly. But yeah, everybody has their story. Like I know I'm here speaking to you about mine, but like it was all of our story. You know, it was everyone's, and yeah, it was amazing time.
Brilliant. New rules, fan, happy. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think they're good.
Yeah. Is there anything you would maybe like to get rid of? There's a lot of criticism around a couple of them.
Nah, we're not talking about getting rid of stuff anymore. They're all here to stay now.
Accepting of it. Have they improved?
No, embracing of it. I think we're going to embrace them. Like, there's more scores and
have they improved the game as a player, particularly as a defender?
Yeah,
but harder.
Definitely tougher. Yeah, for sure for defenders. Yeah, the game's better. I think we'll agree that. Yeah, more scores, more exciting. 2-pointers are always good. There's probably more goal chances happening. I don't know. What do you think?
I think there's times where I wouldn't mind going back to 2019, but yeah, look at it.
Not a defender's game anymore. Like
I think it has improved entertainment wise. So if I was going as a punter to watch a match, having paid in, I definitely enjoy it a lot more than I would have in the past. From a player and a coaching point of view, I think it is challenging. Do you know what I mean? And I think last year was as challenging as it gets as a coach, player, manager, because the goalposts were being moved on a constant basis. I mean, you feel as if you have something sort of licked, and the next week it's gone and there's something else there. So last year I think was challenging. The fact that we are settled down, I do know it's not perfect. I would have a few things I would love to change myself, but they're there, and at least when they're there and you know they're there and they're staying there, then you can coach around that, or you can navigate around that, and rather than this constant flux. But yeah, I think it's tough. I think it's a lot tougher as a coach than it was when the old rules were there.
It's definitely, the boundaries have probably widened in a sense, so there's more to cover and more to think about, and it's quite new, so there will be an evolution of teams and setups, and the best way to get, let's face it, you're trying to get round the rules in a sense, and bend them and break them, and without overstepping. And
I do think consistency under the new rules is tough. I do think there's a massive change between, like, even I look at Kerry won the All Ireland last year, playing some of the best football you'd ever see, but 5 weeks earlier Meath were down in Tullamore,
Yeah.
you know, kicking balls over the bar from everywhere with no challenge or anything else. So I do think the consistency, the consistency is just that little bit more difficult, and I think a lot
There's
of
a lot
teams
more-
have found that there's a lot more moving parts. Like.
Yeah, there's a lot more, nearly like more luck in the game required now in terms of a break ball, because there's more long kickouts, and you can, you know, the previous, the old game, the old rules, whatever you want to call it, there was a lot more control in terms of what you could, you know, chase and go after, but now it's a lot more open, and there's a sense of luck to it in terms of the ball dropping your way. Even the Galway Mayo game last weekend, like Galway had 2 players on the break every time, but it fell down the one Mayo player. Do you know, you get the bounce of a ball on the day, and the day could be yours. So it's more exciting from a you know, spectator
Definitely.
point of view.
Less control, lads, is a good thing in life.
It is a good thing for
Me.
Yeah.
Not for you two, but for me. So we'll take that wee win. But I represent more people in this country
So
than
you
you two
do.
boys. So
You
right, okay.
You definitely do.
Probably
I'm
a
not
good
saying
thing.
that's
Probably a good thing.
I'm not saying that's a good thing at all, but just because we are in the 5/8 category, and you know what, it's not a bad place to be.
I think players and managers, coaches get that.
Yeah.
100% get that. Like they do, and because we're supporters as well. Like,
Of course,
like
of course.
you know, I'll go to a club match someday, and I'll say, tell you what, I enjoyed that. That was a cracker.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll walk away. But it's just when you're actually in it and you're trying to exert some sort of control on it.
What's the exciting part of the
a
game?
little
Like,
bit.
it's an exciting part of the life of the game, because we're in the infancy of the new rules, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all there to be figured out. You know.
it is. But it's great to watch it. You know, there's less players, so you have to cover more space. You know, in defence, you have a 2-pointer, so it means you can't defend as deep. You maybe have to make that conscious decision between protecting the goal and protecting an arc. So you're spread out a wee bit more. Forget about being spread out laterally. It's just those 2 wee little things creates more of a gap. If you have good forwards, you know, it helps. And Armagh have got plenty of good scoring forwards, good range of scores which you have at the minute, which is, I would imagine, lovely for you two boys to see. But look, lads, we'll wrap it up there. There's a million things we could ask you, Aidan. Thanks very much for coming on.
Thanks, Aidan.
Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thanks, Paddy.
You'll be in supporters mode on Sunday.
Of course, yeah.
We have to mention his alma mater, the MacRory Cup final, which is live on the BBC on Sunday. And we have an old boy in front of us. So it's Abbey Newry, which is your old school, one of them.
You just can't help yourself.
I'm sorry. I you know what? I was at 2 schools as well. I don't know why. I transferred, but I had a conscious decision and a choice. But anyway, you left Abbey to go to St Pat's Armagh. So sorry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be taking the mic. Abbey play Dungannon Academy this weekend, and you're a former player and successful player for the academy. So you'll be.
I'll be rooting for the academy now.
It's a big day.
It's always a big day.
It's a big day now.
MacRory football's, again, best days of your life in school, but we were fortunate to win one as well, although I didn't get much game time at that stage. But yeah, we had some, and it's about them tracking those players right through. Like there's a wee boy from my young club. There's always an Armagh man in the middle of it, thank God. I think there's a couple of Armagh men playing in the academy team, which is good to see. But yeah, Jonah Feeney's playing on he's a Mahari fella, so we have a vested interest there too. So no, hopeful now that the academy go and do it. It's always brilliant to build up in the school, and I have real fond memories of MacRory football, and still have friends from that time as well. So
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
it's a special day. Absolutely great
I
stuff.
think the Abbey is I was reading it's 50-50 as well. It's 50% down, 50% Armagh squad.
The starting 15 for Abbey is 8.
All the most of the defenders.
8 Armagh and 7 down, I think it is.
Yeah, most of the defenders. I think
It could be the
it's
other
only
way
one
about.
of the top 7 or something.
It's 8 and 7, which is that's phenomenal, isn't it?
Mm.
You know, that is phenomenal. That you're like your St Pat's Armagh and the Academy Dungannon a bit more skewed now in favour of Armagh stroke Tyrone, each way, but it's good to see that. Great stuff. Good luck to both sets of teams. That game is live on the BBC this weekend. That's a big occasion, so look, we hope it goes well for everybody. Aidan, go well, get back on the pitch soon. We look forward to seeing you. Good luck for the rest of the year. Good luck with daddyhood, with changing and jobs, and happy birthday, Emer.
Happy birthday, Emer. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Emer.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Emer. You know.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a million. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Many more podcasts on BBC Sounds and many more brilliant stories as ever and coverage across the BBC and Gaelic games at the BBC Sport website specifically. But we're back this Sunday, the MacRory Cup final live on the BBC, and from the great Aidan Forker and the great Oisin McConville and myself. Thanks for listening.